this episode, yo, that cliffhanger. Oh my God. Wow. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Infrared bringing you the Scout Report anime review of DURARARA Ketsu episode 35. Clap it up. Clap it up. People, this was easily the best episode of DURARARA I've ever seen. Period. We still got one more episode. So if I'm saying this is the best episode, either next week is going to topple it, or I don't even know. I'm still out of breath from this episode. Oh my God. I'm going to let you guys know right now. You're going to see me glance off every now and then because I actually took notes for this one. I mean, it's just so much that went on right now. I don't want to leave out anything. I want you guys to know it all. So if it looks like I'm reading, I am, because I want to get everything about this episode. I'm going to miss this series. I'm truly going to miss this series. I've been saying for a while that depending on how this series ends, it's going to crack my top 5. It's definitely going to be in top 10. And this episode alone proved that. Just a phenomenal episode. It was just fantastic. They're putting everything to a head. Everything seems like it's tying up, seems like it's ending. It seems like we're either going to get a tragic conclusion or we're going to get a really good one. I mean, I just can't praise this episode enough. I mean, I could sit here and praise this episode for 5 minutes, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So let me go on with the episode. Okay, so the episode starts off where it leaves off. We see, of course, Isaiah is still running from Shizuo at this point. We also get back to the building with the fight with Kuchiraji and Verona versus the martial arts girl. I can't remember her name because she only showed up maybe twice in this entire series, so forgive me for that. But they're in the fight, and that fight's interrupted by Shinra's dad, who comes to Kuchiragi and basically tells her that he possibly has a way to get Selty back for his son, and he gives her a sword. And it pretty much cuts away from there. That was all they had. I mean, they probably could have left that out, but at the same time, it's such a complete episode. You got to wrap up what's going on with everybody. So they kind of settle their differences. Actually, Verona's still back there with old girl, so we might still get a battle between them. But as of right now, it cuts away from that. And then we go back to the streets. At the bottom, we have Roki. He is still in the battle with the blue squares, and as we expected, Rochi pretty much mopped them up to the point where Aoba says, we didn't even plan on fighting you. You just happened to be here. At the bottom, Rochi is mopping up the blue squares, and he notices that Aoba uses a phone to do a mass text to call everybody that's in $1, similar to what Mikado did back in the first season, which was perfect. I mean, how they're just calling back to things like this is excellent. He calls everybody on the streets that's $1. There's even people that aren't in dollars down here in the middle of this battle right now. So you have dollar members, you have other biker gangs, you have the Psycho children. You just got mass chaos going on in the streets right now. That kind of caused Rochi to back off, because no matter how badass he is, he's not going to beat all those people. So with that being said, we also cut back to who I call the original Dollars gang. We get back to Kadota and the gang that's in the truck right now. And I'm sorry to cut off on this for a little bit, but it's just so hard to believe that Mikado is orchestrating all this right now on his own. I mean, of course, granted, most of it was done by Isaiah, but the fact that he cleaned all this up and caused all this to happen right now is just ridiculous. It's like, what is he doing? What is his end goal? What is his plan? And I'm gonna get to that, but I'm just so blew off. This should be a reaction video instead of a review, because I just can't praise this episode enough. But we cut back to the ceiling with Mikado and Masomi. Their confrontation is continuing as Mikado begins to explain that his plan is he gathered everyone in the streets as a way to cleanse the dollars, per se. He wants to end the dollars, and he wanted to do it as a homage to both himself, Henri, and Masomi. So he gathered everybody there for one final stand to kind of end everything with with the dollars and what's going on. He says to Masomi, he reflects on when Isaiah told him that pretty much you're the type of person that's always going to be used. This dream that you want to have for like a perfect utopia where everybody's holding hands and hugging is only going to get you used. Of course, Masomi, knowing what type of monster Isaiah is, he proclaims and he's pleading to Mikado, like, don't listen to Isaiah. This is what he does. He twists words. He twists people to his liking so he can kick back and get entertained by it. He's doing this as a twisted game for himself. But he's basically explaining to Mikado that this is all part of Isaiah's plan. He's using you. You're sitting there thinking that he's using you for his own pawn, for his own orchestra of chaos. All this is probably his plan all along. And just hearing that was enough to make Mikado go into juice mode. For those of you who don't know, Mikado pretty much turned to Bishop from Juice at this point. And just a little backstory, Juice, if you haven't seen it, it was a movie from the 90s about a group of high school kids who, they just, they skipped school, they went and played video games, hung out or whatever. But they were always getting bullied. They were always getting chased by the cops. And, one thing leads to another where they end up robbing a store to get some money. And one of the characters, Bishop, who was played by the late, great Tupac Shakur, ends up getting a gun. And once he gets the gun, he sees the type of fear that having a gun can have on someone. And that kind of drives him off the deep end to the point that anybody that opposes him, he's going to use that gun to bend them to his will. And this is exactly what we're seeing with Mikado. This is exactly what I expected with Mikado. He explains to, Masomi that even someone as fearless as you is scared when they have this type of thing pointed in front of them. Even a gun scares you. So that kind of gives him, it kind of gives him a hard on. It kind of gives him power. And he's saying with this thing, I'm going to change pretty much the face of the dollars and everything. I'm going to pretty much get my plan out. So Mikado is sitting there with the gun. Masomi's pretty much pleading with him, please put the gun down, don't do anything stupid, throw that gun away before someone gets hurt. But Mikado said, or before someone gets shot, before someone gets hurt, before you do something you'll regret. But Mikado at that point says, I already have. And it cuts off from there, leaving you wonder, did he shoot someone? We'll get to that. The next thing that happens is we get back to the Adventure Guild in a van, as they were called by Walker. They see Erica on the streets, and she reunites. She sees the rest of the guys. She's yelling, "Hey guys, hey!" Walker, he looks like he's happy, but he knows she has red eyes, so he immediately puts her in a full Nelson. Henri gets out the car, and she has the blade saying, just hold her still. I'm sorry, we have to do this. And they're getting ready to stab her with Psycha so they can probably get her back under control. But being the voice of reason as always, Kadota basically says, can't you tell she's not under control, you idiots? And Erica, she kind of says, she kind of scolds Walker, like, you ruined my reunion with you guys, and everything's back to normal with them. And like I said, throughout the course of the series, I call this group of people the real dollars. Erica, Walker, Kadota, Tagusa. They're my favorite characters in the DURARARA series, and I like them because they kind of are like how I would be with my group of friends if something like this was going on. I mean, just a bunch of people who like game and play anime, and they kind of look at things in certain situations, and even though things are dire right now, they still have their jokes with each other and their side of things, and they're so lighthearted about it. It's just a great group of people. I mean, next to Shizuo, because he's straight up badass, this group of people are my absolute favorite in the series. So now they got Erica back, and they had their reunion. We go to the news as we see on the truck that there's been a series of shootings going around the city. There was shots fired at the police station. There was also shots fired at the Awakasa mob leader's door. And in the midst of having the gunshots, there's also spray paint there that says the dollars were there. So pretty much once again, this was all set up by Mikado. Mikado reveals that he started this war that's going down at the bottom, with him shooting the police station, him shooting at the mob boss's house, and leaving that the dollars was there. He did this in order to build some type of reputation for the dollars as a threat. And also now you have the police and you have the mob coming after the dollars, but he feels that people, knowing that they have that type of heat on them now, they're not going to want to be in it anymore. But now they have that fear that, and the dollars will pretty much go out as an urban legend. That's what his dream is. That's what he wants to build. That's what he wanted to show Masami and Henri, that what he built as the dollars is something that's going to stand the test of time. Even if they disband, they're now going to be an urban legend. So Mikado, of course he's appalled by this. Like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? I mean, you're not going to be an urban legend. You're not going to be like Celti. You're not going to be like Shizuo. You're not going to be like anybody that's extraordinary out here, because you're Mikado. I want my friend back. I want my pleasant, decent, puny friend back, who is just a generally good person. I don't know who you are anymore. And, he continues to proclaim this to Mikado and try to get the gun away from him. And sure enough, he points the gun at Masami, and he pretty much says, that's what he goes back to what he was saying, like how a gun can have power. Of course, Masami, he can throw them hands. He's fearless. He's not scared of him with that gun. He's like, you're my friend, put that gun down. I'm going to beat the sense back into you and turn you back to who you are. This is where we get a little bit more into the mind of Mikado, as he explains that he's always envied that courageousness that Masami has, and he's always wanted to be like him. And he's going to leave his mark and be a different person, even if he's branded a coward by doing what he does. He points the gun at his friend. We hear a shot and we fade away. It cuts off. But it goes to the rest of the city, and everybody hears the gunshots. The Dollars gang hear it. The people down at the city fighting hears it. Izaya and Shizuo, everybody hears the gunshot across the city. This leads up to another final point as we see Izaya running. He meets up with Rochi and Aoba in the blue squares. He meets up in the crowd of people that's controlled by Saika. So now we have all these people in the same spot. From there, it cuts away to Shinra, and he meets Kujaragi on his way to get to Celti again. And we've pretty much put this together already, but she explains in full why she did what she did to Shinra, basically saying, she's never been loved and she doesn't know what love feels like. But seeing Shinra and his love for Celti, and knowing that he can love her no matter if she was a monster, made her want that type of love in her life. But she's so socially detached from the world, she just figured that she can just take Shinra and still have that love. But he basically explains to her it doesn't work that way. He does forgive her, because he's basically saying, even though you put me under control, it just made my love for Celti stronger, so I thank you for that. So he does forgive her. He walks away as she's gonna go help him get Celti back, even though he feels his love for her would be enough. So we cut away from that. That was nice. That was nice. I mean, even with Kujaragi not being too likable of a character, you can kind of see where she's coming from, where basically she just wants someone to love her and someone wants to feel for her. But since she's so robotic in nature, she just thought she can do that work. She thought she can just make that up. But you have people out there like Shinji who are real, and his love for Celti is probably one of the highest points of the series. It's one of the things that's always going to make you smile no matter what happens. So we get back again. There's so much chaos going on right now. We're back to the Dollars gang again, and we see Azumi pop up, and he just starts wrecking Kadota and Tagusa. He starts wrecking their van with the hammer, and he was like, of course it's not the end of me. And they're getting to a big standoff. Kadota basically says, well, if you want to do this, leave the women out of it. And he tells Shinji to get away too. And Zumi explains that everything that's going on right now is all Mikado is doing. Like, the Dollars has pretty much been taken over by blue squares again, and Mikado is our leader, which kind of shocks everyone because they didn't know what was going on at this point. And pretty much from there, he's looking around. He's still hitting the car. He knows someone's missing. He's like, where's Walker? Where's Walker? So while he's doing that, we cut back to Mikado once again, and they pretty much clear up the cliffhanger. It looks like Mikado actually missed Masomi when he shot at him, but Masomi did get grazed in the face, and he kind of punks Mikado for that. He was like, you idiot, you probably looked up how to shoot up a gun online. So thankfully, he wasn't too versed on how to use a gun, and he missed, because that would have been the end of it. I mean, he literally grazed him by the head. So if he was a little bit more accurate, that would have been the end of Masomi right there, and that would have been crazy. So pretty much from there, he wrestles the gun away from Mikado. He pretty much wrecks him. I mean, he's on top of him, just ground and pound him with one arm. He gives him one knockout blow. And all while he's doing this, he's crying because he's seeing what happened to his friend. He's not the person that he used to be. And he kind of feels bad for that because he was away for a while. And maybe if he was there, Mikado wouldn't have went down this path. But he also starts to cry when he says, think about what this would do to Henri to see us like this. So as that's going on, Mikado, he has one more trick up his sleeve. He reveals he has something on his hand. It's like a minigun or something that's on his hand. He shoots Masomi in the leg. So he still shot him, just not with the gun. He's still in Bishop from Juice mode right now, because that gun's just giving him so much power, and his want to do something has caused him so much that he still shot his friend, just not killed him, which I was fearing was going to happen. But he did shoot him in the leg. Down there at the bottom, again, you see people with more chaos. Nasujima is told by one of his followers that he thinks that it was Mikado who was the cause of the gunshot. We see Izaya once again running to the final battle, per se, as he finally meets up with Izaya and Shizuo, they finally meet up, and I knew they were going to stretch this one out. I knew they were going to stretch this out to the very last episode, but Izaya comes in badass as always. Nasujima's scared shitless because he's trying to get everybody to get to Tom, but now he sees firsthand how much of a monster Shizuo is, as he's just carrying a damn garbage can with one hand, getting ready to throw it at Izaya. Izaya's there with his knife in badass mode as the two clash, and then that kind of cuts away from there. We get back to the dollars again, and Izumi's still wrecking the van. Then out of nowhere, here comes Beast Mode Walker, baby. Beast Mode Walker, aka Firestorm, standing on top of the van with the flamethrower. Deadly move, self-made style, Innocentus Jitsu, spraying off at the rest of the blue squares with the flamethrower, coming in so badass. I love Walker. He's such a great character. So he scattered them all away with the flamethrower. Kadota at that point, then he says, he tells the women, like, you guys just go ahead, get away. We'll take care of this from here. Erica being Erica, she kind of laughs it off and says, that's a death flag, right? I just love how they just joke about everything and put everything into an anime perspective. It's like, that's a death flag, right? So Erica stays behind, but Henri takes everybody else and they run away. Tagusa gets out the car as well as Kadota. They slam the door. That badass ending music comes in as they're about to fight all of the blue squares by themselves. Even a crippled Kadota is about to get out there. We know Tagusa's more than a driver. We know he can throw those hands too. You got Beast Mode Walker out there with the flamethrower, and even Erica's about to get in there. So we get to see a little bit of that. The ending music's still going on at this point as we get back to Mikado, and he's pretty much at this point saying that everything that he's done has led up to this point because, again, he wanted to be remembered for something. He realizes what he done. He sees his friend on the ground bleeding, and he says, if I shot you with no remorse, then I would probably do the same thing to Henri at this point. And he's broken down. He just has tears in his eyes, and he proclaims that it's all about to end here. The dollars is about to end here. He points the little handgun at his head at this point and says, I'm going to end not only the dollars, but I'm going to end myself. Oh my God. Not only am I going to end the dollars, I'm going to end myself, because maybe when I die, when I leave this world, I'll go into a world where I'm something extraordinary. And maybe with me dying, I will leave a mark on this world that finally means something. You know, they always say this about people. Some people who commit suicide, they want to die gracefully. And they want to leave like a mark when they do it, no matter how they feel at the time. And this is exactly what we're seeing with Mikado right now. He's sitting there, he's holding a gun to himself, and he wants to kill himself to like make the dollars an urban legend. And so his name can always go across Ikeburo. No matter how he's seen as it, at least he's going to be remembered for something. And of course, at this point, Masomi's on the ground. He's crying. I mean, this is breaking me up at this point. He's crying. He's begging his friend to put the gun down. He's explaining, this is Isaiah's doing. Don't do this. This is Isaiah's doing. I swear, if you do this, I will spend the rest of my life hunting down Isaiah, and I will kill him if you do this. And it's tears in Mikado's eyes. It's tears in Masomi's eyes. And we hear a click, and that's where the episode ends. Oh my God, please don't let this happen to Mikado. I mean, yeah, he got off the right path, but I hope Masomi can get through. I hope someone got up there to stop this. I don't want DURARARA to end like this, not with someone dying. I mean, it's been doing okay without death the entire time. Of course, it'll be an impact. It's not going to change how I feel about anything. I just don't want to see this happen to these characters. This is the best group of characters I've ever seen. Something I always say about DURARARA when I'm trying to recommend it to someone or talk to someone, I say that DURARARA's heroes done right, because you took a story about a city full of people who all linked together and they melded perfectly. And to lose Mikado would be a big thread. Just broken. That will crumble everything. All right, people, that's it for the review. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you feel as strongly as I do about this episode? I feel that this was the best episode of DURARARA ever. I think this is probably going to be better than the finale. What do you think? Do you think that Mikado is going to go ahead and go through with it, or somebody's going to show up? What do you think of the fate of the True Dollars gang of going against the Blue Squares? Will Shinra get Celty back? Holler at me in the comments. Let me know. If you guys liked anything in this video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, please do subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And as I always say, you guys can be on anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really do appreciate that. So thank you very much for your time today. This is your boy Infrared with the Scout Report. See you soon.